ìròyìn tó gbámúṣe lójoojúmọ́ láti jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ jẹ̀gbádùn ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ àṣetán láti máa dùn yẹn nínú Àgídìgbò 88.7 FM ohùn aráàlú.
There's a lot to digest and a lot of voices to be heard. Stick to the frequency that amplifies these voices, stories and reports that make the difference. This is Agidigbo News, 88.7 FM.
This is Kunle Amzat Studio, Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Welcome to News Around the World.
Good evening. Welcome to the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Bowale Akinbode. First, the headlines. Nigeria Police Force (NPF) trains officers to undo explosives nuclear threats. Oyo government approves vibing December celebration. British man who volunteered as spy for Russia jailed. President Trump says no United States government official will attend the G20 summit in South Africa. Super Eagles coach Chel picks Ekong, Osimhen, Moses 21 orders for 2026 FIFA World Cup playoffs. Now the details. The Nigerian Police Force (NPF) has trained 325 personnel on the handling of explosive ordnance disposal, EOD and chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear threats (CBRN). Speaking at the closing ceremony of the 4-week intensive course today, the Commissioner of Police in charge of EOD and CBRN, CP Awuwa Ibrahim, said the training marked a significant milestone in the NPF's effort to enhance its counterterrorism capabilities. CP Ibrahim said the training, which covered detection, identification and decontamination procedures, was part of the Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Egbetokun's initiatives to strengthen the force's operational efficiency in tackling terrorism and related threats to national security. The Commissioner also commended the participants for their dedication and discipline, while urging them to apply the knowledge gained to support anti-bomb squads in their respective commands, further advising members of the public to promptly report any suspected explosive devices to the nearest police station. The Oyo State government has approved the organization of Vibing December, otherwise known as #Faji December, a month-long celebration in different forms to mark the end of 2025 and usher in 2026. According to the press release signed by the Special Advisor on Media to the State Governor, Mr. Sulaiman Olarewaju, this follows the presentation of a memo to the Oyo State Executive Council by the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dr. Wasiu Olatubosun. Dr. Olatubosun said the carnival is intended to put the state in celebratory mood and create business opportunities for residents of the state throughout the Utah period, noting that carnival will not be restricted to Ibadan, the state capital alone, as it will be held concurrently in various parts of the state. According to the Commissioner, adequate arrangements had been made to secure lives and properties before, during and after the carnival, adding that the state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, is expected to flag off the carnival in the first week of December. #Vibing December, which is being organized in conjunction with communities, town and a number of corporate sponsors, will feature activities such as Legendary December with Bear Village at designated centers, Fantasyland Variety Program, Ogbomoso Kradu Carnival, Oyo Doba Amalaland Festival, Atewo Lara Festival, Hotel Vibes, Ojude UI, Artist Hangouts and Concerts, among others. Polycystic ovary syndrome, known as PCOS, is silently affecting millions of women across the world, yet they are not aware of this condition. In Nigeria, countless women are battling with this hormonal disorder, which causes irregular menstrual cycles, infertility, and changes in physical appearance. Agrigo FM News correspondent Zainab Ogundokun examined the struggles of women living with PCOS and expert advice on how it can be managed properly. Here is the report.
Trying to conceive, my period, they were still irregular. It began to have miscarriages, and I had a third one. Then I knew something was wrong.
That was Mrs. Chioma recounting how her PCOS ordeal led to 3 miscarriages. Polycystic ovary syndrome, commonly known as PCOS, is a hormonal condition that affects women of reproductive age. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), PCOS affects an estimated 6 to 13% of women of reproductive age. However, up to 7 out of 10 cases remain undiagnosed, meaning many women living with the condition without knowing it, despite experiencing common symptoms. While speaking with Agidigbo FM correspondent, a gynecologist at the University Teaching Hospital, Dr. Lagunju, listed PCOS symptoms.
A woman is not ovulating because the eggs are arrested at different stages of development on the ovary. Begin to have some symptoms such as excessive irregular menses, challenges with getting pregnant.
A PCOS patient shared that living with PCOS has been emotionally challenging and has affected her physical appearance.
I'm even fighting with weight loss because every time I'm adding weight.
Another PCOS patient, Mrs. Chioma, shared that she made a conscious effort to change her diet, which eventually helped her conceive naturally.
For 6 months, I didn't have soda, I didn't eat fatty food, I avoided rice, carbohydrate, and then my son was able to stay until 38 weeks.
Many women resort to herbal medicine in search of a cure, but Dr. Laguju cautioned against it.
So these agents come together and they form some dangerous combination that can even harm our other organs, liver, kidney, and all that.
One of the respondents also revealed that managing PCOS has been financially draining, as the cost of drugs and medical consultations is often too expensive for her to sustain.
The drug is kind of expensive, and I don't normally have money to be buying it every time. There's a drug that I use, it's 12k per sachet, and I use 3 in a month.
In his final words, Dr. Lagujo emphasized that managing PCOS goes beyond taking medication.
Those who have PCOS are more at risk of metabolic syndrome. Reduce your fats. We counsel that you reduce weight. So don't, because you have tendency towards gaining weight. So heavy food at night should be avoided. Try to exercise.
As more PCOS awareness groups and support communities continue to emerge, it is important for women living with the condition to seek accurate medical guidance, maintain healthy lifestyle habits, and prioritize regular checkups to prevent long-term complications such as infertility. Zainab Ogundokun, Agidigbo News.
The Nigerian Association of Medical and Dental Academics, NAMDA, at the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology branch, has faulted the university management's recent statement on the consolidated medical salary structure and rejected the proposed implementation deferred to July 2026, nearly 19 months after negotiations began. On the 7th of November 2025, Lautech management, in a statement on X and on its website, signed by its registrar and secretary to the council, Mrs. Olayinka Balogun, announced a formal commitment to commence CONMES implementation from the November 2025 salary cycle, with full implementation by July 2026. However, the NAMDA Lautech branch, in a rejoinder signed today by Acting Chairman Professor Michael Olamoyegun and the Acting Secretary Dr. Ayobami Alabi, dismissed the management statements and argued that rather than resolving the issues, The statement amounts to a deliberate act of public deception, misdirection, and intimidation. The association further stated that their engagement with the school management began over a year ago, by which time all other medical schools in Nigeria had already implemented CONMES for their lecturers, with some institutions having done so far 5 to 6 years ago. It is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Agidigbo FM United Kingdom. I am Folashade Familusi. Howard Philip, Britain, volunteered to spy for Russia, has been jailed for 7 years. It was reported Howard Philip, 66, two officers posting as Russian agents he wanted to work in intelligence to avoid a 9 to 5 office job. After clearing out his savings, he handed over the home address and landline of his local member of parliament and defense secretary, but he was arrested during the undercover MI5 sting. However, sentencing him at Winchester Crown Court, Justice Chima Group told him he was prepared to betray his country for money and was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment. Tory leader in the United Kingdom Kemi Badenoch is giving her first on-screen reaction to the arrest of sex offenders who was mistakenly released from His Majesty Prison Wandsworth last week. 2 prisoners were mistakenly released, but one of them voluntarily handed himself over to the police on Thursday, while the police arrested the second prisoner on Friday. Ms. Kemi Badenoch stated the United Kingdom government needs to get a grip on sex offenders rather than giving them soft touch. Furthermore, she criticized the government, especially Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy. Conclusively, she urged the government to take up responsibilities than pointing accusation fingers at the ministers. That's the news from Agidigbo FM United Kingdom. I am Folashade Familusi.
We shall also be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Kule Amzat Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Soya. Senate Democrat offered to end the government shutdown in exchange for a 1-year extension of health care tax credit and a plan to continue broader talks, a proposal that was swiftly rejected by Republicans who grew increasingly frustrated with their colleagues over the course of the day. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer laid out the Democratic proposal on the Senate floor, said Democrats would back a bill to quickly reopen the government if it included the 1-year extension of tax credits to bring down the cost of health insurance premiums. The path forward in the Senate remains unclear. The chamber blocked the GOP bill that would pay federal workers during the funding lapse. Democrats blocked quick consideration of the measure, contributing to the tensions between the two sides. President Donald Trump has said that no U.S. government official would attend the Group of 20 summit in South Africa later this month because of what is said were human rights abuses taking place in the country. Trump said in a Truth Social post that it is a total disgrace that the G summit will be held in South Africa as Afrikaners, that is, the people who are descended from Dutch settlers and also French and German immigrants, are being killed and slaughtered. South Africa's foreign ministry described the decision as regrettable and repeated its rejection of Trump's claim that white Afrikaners face persecution based on their race in the black majority country. That ends the news from Kule Amzat Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Soya.
Welcome back once again. Now in the exciting world of sports. Captain William Ekong, forward Victor Osimhen, goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali, and defenders Bright Osayi Samuel and Calvin Bassey have been included in Nigeria's 24-man list for next week 2026 FIFA World Cup African Playoff Tournament in Rabat, Morocco. Super Eagles head coach Eric Chell has also included 89-cap midfielder Alex Iwobi, exciting young defender Benjamin Fredericks, midfielder Frank Onyeka and Wilfred Ndidi, forward Samuel Chukwueze and Ademola Lookman. Nigeria will take on Gabon in the first semi-final scheduled for the 22,000 capacity complex sportive sprint in Hassan in Rabat, Morocco. Confronting the Democratic Republic of Congo in the other semi-final at the 18,000 capacity, also in Rabat. Defender Oluwasemilogo Ajayi suspended for 1 game after accumulating 2 yellow cards at the recently concluded 10-match qualifying campaign and will miss the clash with the Panthers of Gabon on Thursday in Morocco 5 p.m. Nigerian time. The players are scheduled to fly into Morocco from their different bases in Europe and elsewhere to converge in Rabat on Monday, 10th of November 2025. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. Nigeria Police Force trained officers to handle explosive nuclear threats. Oyo government approves vibing December celebration. British man who volunteered as spy for Russia jailed. President Trump says no United States government official will attend G20 summit in South Africa. Super Eagles coach Eric Chow picks Ekong, Osimhen, Moses 21 orders for 2026 FIFA World Cup playoffs.
Don't forget that you can listen to us live on our website www.agidigbo887fm.com. You can also download our mobile app on Google Play Store and iOS. Simply search for Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Follow us on Facebook at Agidigbo 88.7 FM, on Twitter and Instagram at Agidigbo 887 FM, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have news, stories and tips for us, contact our newsroom on 070-8714-4865 or send us a mail on newsroom@agidigbo887fm.com.
And before we go this evening, here is a quick tape. Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Bowale Akinbode. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State government has said the over 1.5 million out-of-school children.
We give you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
The Southwest in Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Agidigbo 88.7 FM, the people's voice.